the past years and will rise in the coming years? Did you also know that the seas are rising inch by inch and will soon start flooding lands? In this picture, you can see a polar bear balancing himself on an ice sheet. The other parts of the ice sheets must have melted and fallen into the ocean. When the ice sheet the polar bear is standing on melts, it's going to have to swim onto another ice sheet. This picture shows a polar bear on an ice sheet that's on a lot of rocks, and the rocks are surrounded by water. If the ice sheet keeps melting, the water level will get higher and cause floods and damage. Here is a polar bear trapped on an ice sheet that is surrounded by water. The other ice sheets melted and are too small to stand on. Therefore, it's too dangerous to leap onto another ice sheet. This picture shows a piece of ice that just broke from a glacier, and it will fall into the ocean and become an iceberg. This is dangerous for ships sailing in the ocean at night. This is my evidence that proves temperatures are warming, so I hope you believe me.
To start off, you might be wondering why there would be an increase in pests just because of global warming. And the truth is, scientists have had the same thought process. And because of this, they've tested and proven that milder winters would make the survival of many frost-sensitive pests possible. In fact, several universities discovered that plant pests have been shifting closer and closer to us in the northeast and the surrounding world. So how will we prepare for these new species without taking action immediately? As the temperature increases, there is a rise in rainfall and severe winds. For instance, rain has been falling in downpours much more often all throughout the United States. Studies have even shown that Maryland's rain frequency has been slowly but surely increasing over the last century. I know you're probably thinking, oh, if it's only increasing gradually, I can handle it, no big deal. But remember that this is only the beginning of global warming and its potentials. In current times, it is very unlikely to receive a drought where we live, but if global warming continues, this statement will no longer be true. Areas are expected to easily lose moisture to common natural disasters, causing an expansion of dry areas. This could also result in dry existing droughts caused by global warming.
But there's hope. Have you ever heard of ocean farming? What is ocean farming, you may ask? Well, I will tell you, ocean farming is basically farming on water. You can't see it from land, and there are no chemicals, fertilizers, or antibiotics needed, so you will save money. What would you be farming? You would be farming kelp, seaweed, scallops, and oysters. The world's population is expected to go over 9 billion people by 2050. So there will be more pressure on our natural resources that are already going down. So we need new agricultural or ocean farming methods to feed the planet. A plus is agriculture is one of the most effective ways to produce food without hurting our environment. It produces nutrients, protein, can restore coastal economies. Finally, there will be an increase in farmers' profits. So ocean farming could be the way of the future.
Do you know what ocean farming can do for us? Well, there are so many benefits, it's hard to name them all. However, here are a few. Seaweed farms have the capacity to grow massive amounts of nutrition-rich food. A global network of sea vegetable farms totaling 180,000 square kilometers could provide enough protein for the entire world population. Since they require no fresh water, no deforestation, and no fertilizer, these ocean farms are more sustainable than even the most environmentally sensitive traditional farms. Seaweed and shellfish might actually be Mother Nature's secret weapon to fight climate change. That's because seaweed uses photosynthesis to pull massive amounts of carbon from the atmosphere. Seaweed is one of the fastest growing plants in the world. Kelp, for example, grows up to 9 to 12 feet long in just 3 months. Oysters can also absorb carbon dioxide, but also they can filter nitrogen out of the water column. Nitrogen is nearly 300 times as potent as carbon dioxide. Like carbon, nitrogen is an essential part of life. Plants, animals, and bacteria all need it to survive, but too much has a devastating effect on our land and ocean ecosystems. Algae can be grown anywhere, and to grow it, it needs to absorb carbon dioxide. So it's not only a very effective fuel, it's also a great way to get rid of carbon. The main nitrogen polluter is agriculture fertilizer runoff. Synthetic fertilizers and pesticides contribute more than 1 trillion pounds of greenhouse gas emissions to the atmosphere globally each year. That's the same amount of emissions that are generated by 88 million passenger cars each year. But a healthy oyster habitat can reduce total added nitrogen by up to 20%. A 3-acre oyster farm filters out the equivalent nitrogen load produced by 35 people living on the coast.
Did you know that ocean farming can save the planet? Well, ocean farming is so much better than land farming, and ocean farming can help with climate change. Kelp can help. The kelp draw in so much carbon dioxide that they help reduce the water's acidity. Seaweed can also help. Seaweed can produce biodigested methane, which can be burned as a substitute for natural gas. So to help out with climate change, we should use ocean farming. What can you do to help? Well, if you know any farmers, tell them about ocean farming and why they should switch to it. And maybe they can help with our world problem of climate change.